Welcome to LUME. This is a space for healing through metaphorical tales, created to support your emotional well-being and inner growth. Today's story is for anyone experiencing anxiety, low self-esteem, stress, or a lack of self-love. You're invited to listen. Each tale in this series is carefully designed to support psychological balance using the language of metaphor. These are not hypnosis sessions. They do not interfere with your will, your beliefs, or your conscious thoughts. They are safe, supportive, and have one simple goal: to help you feel better, think more clearly, and reconnect with yourself. It is recommended to listen to these tales daily for at least 30 days. This gentle repetition helps activate the deeper parts of your mind, where real transformation begins. You do not need to concentrate or sit in silence. You may listen while resting, walking, or doing everyday tasks. The tale will still work, quietly, naturally, bringing calm, comfort, and emotional clarity. Let us begin. The Girl Who Lost Her Smile. Once upon a time, in a cozy little town in the Pacific Northwest, surrounded by pine forests and misty hills, there lived a girl named Katie. Everyone in town knew Katie for her bright, joyful smile. It wasn't just any smile. It was the kind that made you feel like everything would be okay. Like a cup of hot cocoa on a rainy day, or that first warm breeze in spring after a long winter. Katie loved simple things: blueberry pancakes on Saturday mornings, sketching animals in her notebook, and dancing barefoot in the backyard under the sprinkler. She laughed easily and found joy in things most people overlooked. A squirrel stealing seeds from the bird feeder, a heart-shaped leaf on the sidewalk, a funny cloud shaped like a dachshund. But one day, everything started to change. Katie got her first smartphone, and with it came the magical window: YouTube and TikTok. Through this window, she could see what everyone else was doing. She saw girls with perfect hair doing makeup tutorials, influencers sipping green smoothies in Malibu, friends posting selfies at sunset, looking like they were straight out of a movie. The more she scrolled, the more unsure she felt. Why don't I look like that when I smile? She thought. Why am I here eating pancakes when they're eating acai bowls on the beach? Maybe I should stop smiling in pictures. I look weird. Slowly, Katie began to disappear. Her once genuine smile turned stiff. She stopped sketching. She started deleting pictures of herself. She even quit her weekly pancake mornings. Too basic, she thought. Her laughter faded like a Polaroid left in the sun. One cool afternoon, Katie went hiking alone on a trail near the Columbia River Gorge. She needed air. She needed something. The forest was quiet. Mist curled between the trees like steam rising from a teacup. And there, near an old mossy log, stood a woman. Older, kind-eyed, with gray braids and hiking boots that looked like they'd been everywhere. The woman held an old, cracked lantern. It was dull and dusty, with glass so foggy you could barely see the flame inside. "You look like you've lost something," she said gently. "My smile," Katie whispered. "Why?" Katie paused, then blurted, "Because I'm not like them. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not cool. I'm not perfect." The woman handed Katie the cracked lantern. "Light this," she said. "But it's broken," Katie replied. "Try anyway." Katie struck a match and lit the lantern. Something magical happened. The flame shone through the cracks and made the trees glow in patterns of light and shadow. The broken glass didn't ruin the light. It scattered it into something beautiful. It danced across pine needles, flickered on the bark, lit up the fog like fireflies. The woman smiled. "This is you," she said. "Your cracks, your quirks, they don't dim your light. They shape it. They make it yours." Katie stood silently, watching the light. Warmth spread through her chest. Not the kind from compliments or likes, but the kind that comes when you feel whole, like you belong to yourself. That night, back home, Katie made blueberry pancakes again. She sketched a fox in her notebook. She posted a picture, not of herself, but of her backyard, messy hair, unfiltered light, and a caption. "Some smiles come back when you stop trying to borrow someone else's." Her friends noticed. "You seem like yourself again," someone commented. "Love your smile in this one," another said. But Katie didn't need the comments. Her light was back. Not perfect, not polished, but real. And real glows brighter than perfect ever could. Reflection. This is a story about learning to trust, not in others' opinions, not in digital reflections, but in your own inner light. Like Katie, we begin to believe that our joy isn't enough, that our appearance needs fixing, that our uniqueness is something to hide rather than honor. But this tale reminds us of a quiet truth. You were never meant to shine like someone else. You were meant to glow in your own way, through your own experiences, your own imperfections, your own story. The cracked lantern teaches us that light doesn't need perfection to be beautiful. In fact, it's often the cracks, the places where we've struggled, doubted, or been hurt, that allow our real light to shine through. When you start trusting your own pace, your own beauty, your own path, something shifts. You no longer chase validation. You create it from within. And from that space, healing begins. Self-love grows. Confidence returns. Anxiety loses its grip. This tale invites you to come back to yourself. To trust that even if you feel broken, you are still light. And the world needs your kind of light, exactly as it is. Practical exercise. Let's take a moment to gently reconnect with your own light. Step 1. Journaling prompt. When you have a quiet moment today, write down your answer to this question. What part of me have I been hiding because I thought it wasn't good enough? Be honest. It might be a part of your personality, your appearance, your voice, your dream, or even a silly habit you secretly love. Then ask yourself, what would happen if I stopped judging this part and started accepting it instead? This small shift in perspective can open the door to deep self-acceptance. Step 2. A gentle visualization. Now, if you're in a place where you can pause for a moment, close your eyes and take a slow breath in and out. Picture a small lantern in your hands. The glass is cracked, maybe a little dusty, but there's a warm, steady light inside. With every breath, the light grows, spilling softly through the cracks, painting the space around you with golden patterns. This light is you, not polished, not filtered, but real and enough. Let this light remind you. You do not need to be perfect to be powerful. You only need to be present and kind to yourself. This tale brought you even a little warmth, clarity, or comfort. Remember, healing is not a one-time event. It's a quiet practice, a returning. Listening to stories like this regularly, especially for 30 days or more, can gently shift how you think, feel, and care for yourself. Not by force, but through quiet understanding. So, if it felt right to you, stay with us. Subscribe to LUME, and let these tales be a companion on your journey to deeper self-love, calm, and confidence. Your light is already within you. Let it shine every day, just a little more. Until next time.